Asbestos in your stove on this episode of Asbestos Artifacts. You might be surprised to know that the risk of asbestos exposure was not limited to normal suspects like construction materials in residential homes or on the equipment found in many industrial buildings. In fact, asbestos could even be found in one of the most basic commodities inside everyone's home: stoves. With virtually endless options at our disposal today for cooking food: electric stoves, gas stoves, toasters, toaster ovens, propane grills, rice cookers, fondue pots, sandwich grills, waffle irons, rotisseries, microwaves. It may be hard to understand exactly how much was involved to heat up some leftovers in the days of wickless stoves, but in the early 20th century, these things were all the rage. Call them the air fryers of their day. And to light a wickless stove, you needed today's asbestos artifact: a Victory brand asbestos wick for stoves. A wick for a wickless stove? Let me explain. Wickless stoves typically used oil like kerosene, and they were seen as a much more precise way of cooking compared to using a coal or a wood-burning stove. But the name wickless stove is a bit misleading. These kinds of stoves did not have a wick built in, but wicks were regularly used as a way to use the oil more efficiently, and the fact that wicks can soak up the oil like a sponge means that it's a helpful safety feature when using oil as a source of heat. By the 1930s, when these asbestos wicks were being sold, electric stoves had been invented and were gaining in popularity. But many homes did not have enough electric current available to run the stoves. Some simply didn't have electricity, but in other places the current could be weak or erratic, so the cooking was also unreliable and hard to predict. Electric ovens were also more expensive, as was the power needed to run them. That's why oil stoves were still common and these wicks were in widespread use. The big names in the cooking stove industry included Florence Stove Company as well as the Monitor Stove Company, among others, and they were very popular with consumers. The problem is, during the era of oil stoves, the popular wicks used on the market were made of asbestos. Asbestos wicks were nothing new. In fact, among the earliest uses of asbestos was a wick for sacred oil lamps. Some of our other videos have discussed the writings of the ancient Greeks and Romans describing asbestos wicks and the eternal lamps lit for the goddesses Athena and Vesta. Asbestos can sustain temperatures far hotter than even a house fire, so the oil could burn and burn without the wick degrading. Another of our episodes was on Zippo lighter wicks, which were made with asbestos until a few decades ago. In the ancient world, asbestos was extremely hard to come by, and asbestos wicks and asbestos fiber were reserved for royalty and things like sacred temples. As we talked about in some prior Asbestos Rewind episodes, Marco Polo spent time searching for asbestos, and some writings in ancient and medieval Europe and Asia described asbestos as more rare and sought after than gold. But in the late 1800s, mining technology improved, and enormous deposits of asbestos were found all over the world, including Canada, Africa, Italy, and Russia and Turkey. So by the time these wickless stoves were being marketed, you could walk into any local hardware store and pull out a roll of asbestos wick and cut it to the right length. Asbestos wick rolls even came in various sizes to fit the various brands of wickless stoves that were available. Now this particular wick was 7/8 of an inch, but you can see right on the box it says made in all sizes to fit all oil-burning wickless stoves. This wick was made in North Wales, Pennsylvania, probably at the Zenith manufacturing plant, which put out a lot of asbestos products at the time. The box includes some detailed instructions. Unlike the asbestos fiber wicks used by ancient Greeks and Romans, these were only partly asbestos, so eventually the paper in them burned and they got dirty and needed to be replaced. Oil stoves also used asbestos lighting rings to kindle the flame. In fact, the Florence Oil Cook Stove bragged that their stove was so efficient specifically because of its asbestos kindler starting ring, which gives off no odor or smoke and, quote, cannot burn. Many wood-burning stoves and stovetop pads were also made with asbestos, and even the pioneering television chef Julia Child used asbestos bricks so the oven could get hot enough to bake her baguettes. Simply put, asbestos was cheap, and its resistance to heat and decay made it an excellent material to use in stoves. That is, except for the breathing diseases and cancer that asbestos can cause. Technology has changed drastically over the last century, and along with it, so has the information available to the public about certain products and their health risks. But eventually, what the asbestos companies already knew became public knowledge. This material is highly dangerous to humans and is a known carcinogen. While exposure to asbestos can come without any initial symptoms for multiple decades, asbestos-related diseases can eventually show up in life-threatening ways. Asbestos fibers are what scientists call biopersistent. That means they do not dissolve or corrode in the body, and they even prevent the body from removing them by puncturing white blood cells. Mesothelioma, lung cancer, laryngeal cancer, and ovarian cancer are just some of the examples of the tragic results of asbestos exposure. While stoves containing or using asbestos have been banned, they represent just one example of how widespread the risk of asbestos exposure was, even in the unsuspecting place of where your food is cooked. If you believe you've been exposed to asbestos or believe that your home contains this material, it's important to seek out professional asbestos testing services as soon as possible. And if you're heating up those leftovers, maybe use the air fryer. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and if you have any questions or artifacts you want us to review, send us an email or comment below. I'm asbestos attorney Justinian Lane. See you next time on Asbestos Artifacts.